Hello and welcome to Georgiagalaxy's podcast, and today I will be talking about globalization and its effects on mental health and anxiety. Globalization makes a cumulative effect on people's mental health through controlling the public, making public speeches and news media. I think everyone deserves good mental health and deserves to find their place in the world, even if it's affected by the constraints of anxiety and social norms. With elements of patience, continuity, acceptance, and staying strong, we can ensure a better future for us. Parents, especially parents of teenagers, should let their kids let go and have fun once in a while, because all of this work can get too much. With billions of us slaving away today, what are we really doing for ourselves? Not enough. Home experiences can make us go wild too. And the world outside us can be too harsh to accompany that. With all the noises, tax expenses, and constant oncoming traffic, are we expected to go crazy? Surely. Poor teenagers, using their phones to cope, while their parents maim them into having a stress-filled schedule filled with assignments, due dates, and tasks to be completed before a certain time. We can't always believe what we see on the news, for example. Don't work your life away. It's okay to take time for yourself. Don't work your life away. It's okay, don't work your life away. It's okay to take time for yourself. Don't work your life away. It's okay. In fact, that should be the most important thing. We should be having fun, eating and sleeping. We already have our ADLs, activities of daily living, done, so why squander ourselves with even more work and strain? Going outside is good for you, but going outside and doing work too much leaves you bored when there's nothing going on. At least that's from personal experience of who I've lived with. Something like yoga, for example, would be really good for us to do more often. We just sit down and take in the nature around us. Sometimes it can be hard to get a good camera angle too. And yes, it is winter at the moment, and it makes the weather less likely to cheer us up because it's so cold and unhappy and everyone is getting depressed. Globalization affects this too, with people having to pay their taxes and monthly expenses and constant bills and phone calls that they feel forced to take because it's their responsibility and it's their thing that keeps them going in this work crisis. There's also horrible viruses that affect, I don't even want to mention the name of it, but this horrible virus has affected so many people's lives and made them think that they can't go outside and they can't have fun and they can't do what they want. When really it's all right in front of us and we don't even notice it. So go ahead and have a sit in the sun, because I think that is what we all need. And I'm talking to all of you parents and 40-year-olds and teachers and everyone. And also, there's many problems with society, but we always know that we can have a good time with our nice doggy friends. And here is my doggy Bowie. And yeah, I hope it cheers you up somewhat. Please take time to look at nature, because nature is one of the only real things that still stays with us and isn't, controlled by the media all the time, and it isn't superficially designed to make you like something. And even parents assume that everything that we look at on the internet is bad. And I've made several arguments on other school assignments and etc. on how the internet can actually be good and fun, with many funny and enjoyable videos to watch and relate to, and if you can find something that you can relate to, you're pretty much good. And for a lot of people, that's really hard to find. They haven't found their true calling yet. Or they spend too much time obsessing over one thing and they don't grow, they don't step out of their comfort zone and experience new things because they're afraid. Who said that we can't reminisce about the past and what was good, because sometimes the present can be a bit too rough for us to wrap our heads around, and you might be better off just daydreaming instead, and that's perfectly okay. Like, if it's something that helps you, that's totally fine, because it seems to be helping a lot of people. People's attention spans get faltered as well. Even your closest family member can just roll their eyes at you or not even pay attention to you just because they don't like what music you're playing, or they don't like what you look like. They don't like giving you like eye contact and attention, because eye contact and attention is actually incredibly important, and most people don't realize that. Why would organizations like the NDIS ignore patients who are dying of terminal cancer and in need of some serious support? And why are you still scrolling on your phones for news reports? You need to chill. So how do you do that? We should be focusing on stuff that makes us happy and fulfilled, not wasted and feeling like dying. Even dogs are suffering from the problem of not being allowed to do what they want to do, like go for a good walk. Older people around the ages of late teens to very late in life are working themselves way too hard and encouraging young people to have the same strain of expectations on them as well. Why would you have so much strain on your own family member, even your own daughter who you've known for like nearly 50 years, and you still don't give her the comfort that she needs when she's in a very worst state? She's dying. People need to realize what's really going on around them and be more empathetic and just understand people better. They need to get to know people. Sometimes even our families think that they know us really well when they might not notice many small details about us, like my pimples on my face that you just noticed. But they seriously need to get to know the sides of people more and stop comparing and contrasting all the time, and stop wishing that things were better or worse. Sometimes when we make comparisons to something that we think is worse or better, it's not actually either of those. It's just a silly comparison that means not much. Don't listen to what social media tells you. Either turn off your phones or at least do something fun with them once in a while. You don't need to feel a tinge of fear every time your parents or family show up, but sadly that is because they have major control over your life as a teenager. I find it horrible that teenagers are so used to being discouraged, especially told what to do, that it hinders their self-confidence. I don't like that teenagers are so used to being discouraged, especially told what to do, that it hinders their self-confidence. But the best thing is to push through. Do what makes you happy. Even something like going for a walk to take yourself away for a while is perfectly okay. Poor people working with globalization, having to go by certain rules. Why not just create your own business instead? Some of us would find that really beneficial. Globalization is a worldly issue, and mental health is too. We need to look after the latter first. Globalization is the society's standard for working out in businesses, and it's how the world revolves in the business world. According to Kidadi.com, Globalization has many benefits such as the increased flow of goods, services, capital and people across borders. This has resulted in increased trade and investment, which has led to higher economic growth rates and improved standards of living around the world. So globalization has positively impacted the world. According to ahw.com, nearly 1 in 2, 46% of Australians aged 16 to 85 have experienced a mental health disorder during their lifetime. Many of us suffer from it, and it seems inevitable. He doesn't know what to do for the camera. Oh, tell you another disappointing fact. The fact that on your iPad and pretty much any device that you use, there's this naughty little thing called storage. When you make videos and you're very passionate about it, and you want to make anything you want, the only thing that seems to come in your way is the storage. How upsetting. And there's just so many restrictions to everything that we use, unless you actually use it wisely.
Just because caring is loving and loving is caring.